Colorado elected officials are seeking a solution to protect themselves and their families. I checked in with state and local leaders and learned the steps that they're taking to stop elected leaders' personal information from falling into the wrong hands. A 57-year-old man shows up in the middle of the night to Minnesota lawmaker Melissa Hortman's home and kills Hortman and her husband.
Well, my heart really goes out to their families. The fact that Representative Hortman and her husband were killed, and then there was an assassination attempt on another representative and his wife is just outrageous.
Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold says in light of the Minnesota tragedy, she's taking action here.
I consulted with legislative leaders and other statewide elected officials and ultimately made the determination to take down Tracer, which is the public-facing campaign finance system that we have. This will allow legislators, other elected officials, and candidates to request redactions of their home addresses. As soon as those redactions are completed, Tracer will be put back online.
And at the local level, Denver clerk and recorder Paul Lopez says his office is taking down Searchlight. Similar to Tracer, it tracks campaign finance information and candidate eligibility for Denver.
So that we can ensure that any of that information that was shared could not be used to potentially harm a public servant or anybody in that process.
Clerk Lopez, have you heard from any candidates or elected officials who say, I'm concerned for my safety?
Absolutely. That's something that I, as the clerk and recorder, not just this time around, but over time, people have expressed that to me.
Is this a temporary solution? Will we see this information come back online for voters who are using it responsibly?
Yeah. I mean, we're acting out of an abundance of caution. That is temporary. We'll get that back online for folks because we believe that, transparency and security coexist.
Lopez says political violence should not be normalized, and no Coloradan should be afraid to participate in the democratic process.
1,800. That's how many death and physical threats Secretary of State Jenna Griswold tells us she received in the last year alone.
The threat environment against me, I can tell you, has really chilled other women from considering running for office. And I just think that's extremely regrettable. It's a situation that we must continue to work on as a state of Colorado because women deserve a seat at the table. And really, any person who wants to serve their communities deserves to do so without fear for their physical safety.
Coming up on Denver 7 News at 6, we'll listen to her stories and hear how safety solutions like the one Micah mentioned are working to keep her and other lawmakers safe. We'll be right back.